Substance.
The Substance, directed by Coralie Faja, is her sophomore film after she made her directorial debut in 2017 with the action vengeance flick Revenge. The Substance tells the story of Elizabeth Sparkle, who is a famous aerobics instructor for a widely known television program. Or at least I think it's a television program. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think the movie specifies exactly what she does. I don't even think the movie specifies what time period this is in.
You can't escape from yourself.
Demi Moore plays the main character, and her character is suffering from the inside. She is dealing with some emotional turmoil because she works in an industry that has a particular standard that she doesn't meet anymore. So they toss her to the side in search of a new, hotter, younger version of Elizabeth Sparkle.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect.
In comes the Substance, a mysterious drug that isn't fully explained, the shady little details behind it, but we understand how it works. It unlocks the better version of yourself. And with a little bit of hesitation, Elizabeth Sparkle takes the drug and becomes the better version of herself, which is Sue, who is played by Margaret Qualley.
I'm Sue.
Sue begins to take over Elizabeth's life, but then the thing that you have to understand that the movie points out, and especially the operator that Elizabeth calls 1,000 times, which I think is hilarious, you and Sue are one. There is no her. There is only you. You are one. Respect the balance.
Perfect balance of 7 days each. The one and only thing not to forget. You are one.
What I love the most about this movie is I feel like the story is rich with layers because I think it goes beyond beauty standards. I think this movie also has something to say about addiction because you look at Elizabeth and she yearns to be young again. She is desperate for it. She's dying for it. And when she becomes that better version of herself, she dives off the deep end head first and goes to the extreme. And then when she has to go back to her normal life, which is her real life, she can't handle it because this desire of hers to be young again takes its toll not only on her body, which is where the body horror comes in, it takes a toll on her mental stability as well, to the point where she can't function, or she refuses to function in her every normal day life.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself?
There's been a slight misuse of the substance.
It's very sad. Like, I had no idea this movie was going to make me cry multiple times because you feel that emotional connection to Elizabeth, and you feel her pain, and you understand what she's going through, and you want her to stop because you know that it's not going to end in a good way. It's like, oh man, it's a tragic tale. Not only do I think the story in this film is exceptional, but the directing from Coralie Faja is spectacular. This is a hyper realistic, a hyper visual, artsy fartsy kind of film. And I know some people, they don't like that artsy fartsy kind of stuff, but this is one of those artsy fartsy films that has style and substance to go with it. I don't think one single solitary shot was wasted in this film, unless you think about Margaret Qualley's character and how she does her aerobics class, and it doesn't even look like aerobics anymore. It just looks like she's twerking. I mean, basically what she's doing can almost be a porno.
I'm, putting on fake boobs and there's close-up of my butt all day long. It's like I'm thinking about my body,
I love this movie. I love everything about this movie. I love Demi Moore's performance. I love Margaret Qualley's performance. I love Dennis Quaid's performance. I love how he plays this character, how he hams it up. He's very sleazy. He plays his part beautifully. I love how he walks in this film. I love how Coralie Farjac captures him in this film. These extreme close-ups. He throws that extra cheese on the sauce with his sleaziness. There are so many layers to this thing, it's insane. Not only when you think about that body horror type stuff, like when you watch movies starring Jeff Goldblum from 1986 called The Fly.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But when you think about the story of this film, it goes far beyond body horror. It has something to say. It says something about beauty standards and self-love and self-hate and loving yourself. The healing starts from within. It has something to say about addiction and how someone can become so obsessed with wanting that thing that makes them happy to the point where it can damn near kill them. They kill themselves for that drug. And the way Demi Moore delivers that performance of a person who is broken, a person who has fallen down and they can't get back up, is tragic, and it is sad, and it's emotional, and she played it beautifully. Like, Demi Moore is very brave in this film. She gave it her all. She has put everything into her performance.
It's really about accepting yourself as you are and being an appreciation of all that you have. Because sometimes when we're chasing something that doesn't exist, we lose the very thing that we wished that we had and never appreciated.
Here's how I feel about this movie. Take Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream, take The Neon Demon by Nicholas Winding Refn, and take Jeff Goldblum's The Fly, directed by David Cronenberg. Throw all that in the blender, stir it up real nice, and now you have one delicious, pretty weird, nasty smoothie. I don't know if it will be totally delicious once you're done consuming it. You might have some alterations to your body, but who knows? It's going to be a good time just as long as you keep that balance. That's all I have to say.
I was taller than all the boys growing up, and then I remember someone telling me my knees were weird, so I stopped wearing dresses for a long time. Like, just all kinds of things that you're just like, well, I'll never show my knees again.